Hi, my name is Carl Ravencroft. I'm the Health and Safety Officer here at Visions Youth Treatment in Bellingham, and I'm going to be showing you how I do my monthly health and safety inspection. A few things you're going to be needing for your health and safety inspection are a pen, step ladder like this, and key to your fire extinguisher boxes. For the fire extinguisher inspection, you're going to want to inspect your fire extinguishers in the same order that you set up your fire extinguisher inventory and get every fire extinguisher around the building. Here's an example of a fire extinguisher that I inspect every month. It's a pretty standard model, and you can see the yellow needle is in the middle of the green range there. If it goes out of that range, then the fire extinguisher would need to be recharged. Also, you want to check and make sure that these tags are complete and not broken off. And then when you've done that, you want to sign. I've been signing on the months down here at the bottom, but the last Jayco inspection that we had, they indicated that they actually want me to sign the back of the tag like this next to the month, put the year, and then my signature there. When you're doing your fire extinguisher inspection, some of you may have a fire extinguisher in a locked box like I have here, and you'll need a key to get into it. If you have several of these boxes, you should make sure that they're all keyed alike so that you only need one key to get into all of them. That keeps it easier for you to do your monthly inspection, and it also makes it easier when the contractor for your fire extinguishers is doing their annual inspection and service. For these, you don't have to give them a bunch of different keys. So once a month I just open it up like this, pull my fire extinguisher out, and inspect it. So here at Visions, we have first aid kits that look like this, and we also have medical supplies, band-aids available for day-to-day things, and I have these just for emergency use only. And so I've taken an inventory of all the contents here and put a tape seal over the side. And so when I do my monthly inspection of these first aid kits, I just look to see if the seal has been broken, and if it has, then I'll go through and re-inventory everything. Otherwise, I'll just assume that this is complete, and that way I don't have to inspect every first aid kit each month. On the front here, I put a sign, use only in case of emergency, so that I don't get people using these on a regular basis. For the bloodborne pathogen spill kit, this is what we have here at Visions. Yours may look a little different. And I put these labels on the front so that people can identify them quickly. And again, like the first aid kits, I just have a piece of tape over here. And with this, everything inside is in a plastic bag and it's sealed up. And I verified that everything is in here before I put the tape on. And there's nothing perishable in these, so I don't date it. And I just go around every month, make sure that that tape seal is not broken, and I'm good to go. When you're doing your facility inspection, you'll want to walk through all the hallways and verify that you have 44 inches of clearance side to side. Make sure that there aren't any obstructions like this. See behind me is an exit to the outside. Has to be a clear way to get out. Want to make sure that there aren't any mop buckets sitting out, any boxes that haven't been put away, that sort of thing. We all have places in our building where things like to collect, and we just have to make sure that those things don't get in the way when people need to get out in the case of a fire. For your emergency lights test, you'll be holding the test button down for 30 seconds, and depending on the model of the light, these buttons are in different places. Some are on the side. This one is red here on the bottom. You just hold that for 30 seconds. The reason you hold it for that amount of time is that sometimes if you just hold it for a second, that'll light up and it'll look fine, but then if you hold it for a little bit longer, it'll start to get dim, and that'll show you that you don't have a good battery there. Once a year you'll have to do the emergency lights test for 1.5 hours, and you do that by finding a circuit breaker box like this, and all the circuits on that box should be labeled. You find the ones that are for the overhead lights, and when you turn out the ones for the overhead lights, the lights will go off and the emergency lights will come on as if the power has gone off. And you leave it like that for 1.5 hours. So if you do your monthly test of the emergency light and the battery fails, what you'll need to do is replace the battery. You can do that by calling an electrician, or you can save yourself some money and time and just do it yourself. I'll show you how to do that now. You'll need a step ladder like this so you can reach the emergency light. And this particular model has a couple of tabs on the left and right here. You have to push those in while pulling out on the bottom. And then just lift up slightly and it comes off its base. And inside here, you'll see the battery. And you take that out by pulling back on that tab. And you remove the battery by taking these clips off. And you can just let the light hang there. And there's your battery. You want to take that and recycle it at a local battery shop or a hardware store, and they should be able to help you find the battery you're looking for. Okay, so once you've got your new battery, you put it back in by reattaching the red lead to the red terminal, like that. Black lead to the black terminal, and clip it back into the emergency light. Just like that. Make sure these wires are tucked in. Stick it in on the top here. And just push it in on the bottom until those clips are engaged. So for the restroom alarm test, here we have a restroom here in Visions. This is the type of alarm we use. It's always plugged in, so you're never going to have to replace a battery on that side of it. Follow me into the restroom here. We have these stick-on bells. Patients can ring if they need assistance, and I just have a sign on it. Ring the bell if you need assistance. Now if you push that, your alarm will ring out in the hall. So I just do that once a month to make sure that they're working properly. And if that does not work, I need to pop this off, replace this battery in here. And you should be able to find that at a local drugstore. Put that back in. And snap it back on, and it's ready to go again. To test the exterior lights, most of the lights will probably be on a timer somewhere in your building. In our building here, it's in the basement, and we have this old style mechanical timer like you see here. And to test the lights, what I do is open it up and flip this little lever down here on. Then I'll go outside and check that all the lights are on. And when I'm done, flip it off, and I'm done. So I want to point out that there is a potential for electrical shock here. There's these wires coming in are 120 AC, so be sure not to touch those. And some of you may have a digital timer where you just have to push a button. It's a lot nicer. Also, these timers may be located in different areas around your building, and you just have to kind of look around till you find them. So in addition to the lights on a timer, you may have some exterior lights that use a photoelectric switch, like the one behind me here. And these need to be tested at night. I rely on my graveyard shift to tell me when one of these goes out, but either way, they have to be checked at night. Sometimes I'll check them when I come in and do a fire drill early in the morning. Or you can get all the way up there on a ladder. The sensor is on the very top of the light usually, and you can cover that sensor, and that'll turn the light on. You can test the bulb that way. When you're doing your facility inspection, you'll want to use this Form F, the facility inspection form. And probably one of the first things you'll notice on this form is that some of the items won't apply to your facility. For instance, here at Visions, we don't have any fire escapes or elevators. We don't have any ashtrays because there's a no smoking policy. So right here you have your not applicable column, and you can go through and check those boxes permanently on the computer that you won't be changing. And then the other thing that you'll notice on this form is that some of these items, once you've checked them once, they're probably not going to change. Like if you have adequate handicap parking, or if your exit doors open outward. Those things, unless your building has a major renovation, aren't likely to change. So you can just leave those checked permanently and focus on the things that may change month to month. So that's some of the details of how I do my monthly inspection here at Visions. At your facilities, some of those details will vary, and I would recommend that you just set it up in a way that makes sense to you.